What's good, everybody? It's your boy Dez back out here in the cave, and today we're gonna answer that age-old question: does size matter? The size of your gun, people. Get your mind out the goddamn gutter. Does the size of your gun matter? So, when I'm talking about the size of your gun, I'm talking about the three major categories that you're gonna see, especially for new shooters. You're looking at different firearms. You got something that you want to consider, because normally what you're looking at full size, you're looking at compact, and then you're looking at subcompact. And there's a lot of different guns in those categories. And we're going to take a look at those three major categories and talk about some different firearms in those categories and the purposes that they may serve. First of all, when looking at the firearm, you got to determine the purpose first. People ask me all the time, well, what do you recommend? Glock. But besides recommending a Glock, first thing I say is, what are you using it for? And then we go down that rabbit hole of what you may want to look for, because determining the purpose of the gun, you might be something you want to go walking with the kids in the neighborhood, going on trails with, or camping, or everyday carry, or a training pistol, or something like that. That may steer you towards a certain type of firearm, or certain size or caliber, or whatever like that. So you need to determine the purpose of the gun. And there are some guns that fit that category in certain sizes, as far as full size, compact, and subcompact. So we're going to take a look at a couple different ones in those categories. Probably the major ones that you're going to see in those categories. So starting off with full size. Let's look at a full size gun. Full size gun, most common full size gun you're going to see, 1911. 1911. This is considered a full size gun. Full size gun, and that you got a full size grip, full size slide. Full size slide is usually going to be about 5 inches. It's going to be considered full size. You have a full size grip, longer grip. Now this is something that's determining the purpose that you might want to use. Some people EDC these outside the waistband. Some people do them inside the waistband. Depends on the size of the person. You might be able to conceal this a little bit better. And that's, if you're looking at something this size, you have to think about how you're going to be carrying it on your person as well. So definitely something that you want to be considering if this is something that you want to use for concealed carry. Now they do make these in different calibers. This is a 45 caliber 1911, but they do make the 9mm 1911s as well, but this is a 45 caliber. Now this would be a great home defense gun. You might not need it in a holster all the time, so it could be in your safe so you don't have to carry it on your person. But this is a heavier gun as well, all steel frame, single action only. It's something that you definitely have to consider when you're looking at your different firearms. So this would be considered a full size firearm in 1911, all steel frame. Now again, determine the purpose of the firearm. Now, another gun that falls in your category of full size, something like this. My Glock 47. My Glock 47 would be considered full size. Now, this is a great, again, home defense gun. I can use this for home defense. I could also use this for EDC. Now, in the wintertime, I do EDC this because this fits in the same holster, like the holster I have on now. I'll show you my the way I have it set up now with this light on here. Being safe and clear, it fits in this same holster. So we're good to go. And I'm able to still conceal this pretty good. Put a coat on or whatever, I can still conceal this pretty good. As long as you're not out there wearing them medium-sized shirts or anything where you're freaking printing and everything like that, you'll be good to go. But this is considered a full-size gun because, again, you have that longer barrel. You have that full-size grip. This is a 17-round grip, a 17-round magazine I can fit in here. And I'm looking at about almost 5-inch barrel, but I have my radium ramjet on here that bumps with this compensator, bumps it out a little bit longer, makes it almost the same length as a Glock 34. So you do have a little longer length in the barrel of the slide. Now the extra length, it does have its benefits as far as the accuracy. Some people like that. It gives you a little more accuracy. And some people, if you didn't have that red dot, that sight radius and all that other stuff, and you get more spin as the round goes down the barrel and all that stuff. I'm not getting into that. That's not my lane, but you can look that up. But it does have some effect, maybe not a lot, but it does have some effect on the actual round, and it can affect your accuracy having a longer barrel as well. And this is something that you can use again in the wintertime, wearing bigger clothes. This would be a lot easier to conceal if you're out there in the wintertime wearing bigger clothes and stuff like this. This is a really good option. Really good home defense setup. I would definitely use this for home defense. I have used this for home defense. Sits in that safe, but this is a really good setup for your full size option as well. Like I said, so you have your 1911 full size, and then you have your Glock 47 full size. Both of these would be considered full size. And again, determining the purpose, these might be good options for you. So let's get into something that would be considered compact. So compact would be considered something like a Glock 19. So my Glock 19 Koa here, Gen 5, this would be considered compact. So it's about 4 1/4 size barrel length or slide length. But then again, I added my radium ramjet because I like the radium ramjets on all my Glocks, or just about all my firearms that they make them for. I like to have that radium ramjet on there. So I'm adding a little extra length, but I like this because I have a shorter grip. Now, the hardest thing to conceal when you conceal carrying is the grip of the gun. So Glock 47, Glock 17, you notice that the 47 grip is a little bit longer than the 19 because you have 15 rounds here, 17 rounds here. Same thing, this fits in the same holster. Fits in the same holster, right? So this is a great summer carry for me. And then I switch over to the 47 during the winter when I want to carry something a little bit bigger with a little extra magazine capacity. But this will be considered a compact size gun. This could be a good dual gun for home defense, depending on your stature or whatever. This may be a good concealed carry gun for you. Some people, if you don't put that compensator on here and have this big ass red dot on here, have it just iron sights. It could be, you know, purse carry. Some people carry Glock 19s in their purses. If it's a specific compartment in there for your firearm and a holster in there, don't have it floating around with your freaking iPhones and your lip gloss and your keys and everything else like that. If you do decide to carry off body, make sure it's a specific compartment in that purse for that firearm. Don't have a bunch of other stuff floating around in there. And if you're gonna have the light on there, you have to take that into account as well. So this would be considered a compact size firearm. And then you have your Smith & Wessons, then your Canics, they make some compact size as well. So all the manufacturers, all your major ones, your Canics, your Smith & Wessons, your Walthers, your SIGs, they all make firearms in these categories as far as full size, compact, and subcompact. So you'll be able to find something in each one of those categories for each one of those brands. So not just Glocks, right? But Glock fanboy. So this would be considered a compact firearm. And again, determining the purpose, this might be a good choice for you. So next, let's talk about subcompact. Again, subcompact, as you would imagine, would be a little bit smaller, right? So this is what I would consider subcompact. Subcompact. My Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 and 380. Now with this firearm, again, safe and clear, this is a tiny little pocket pistol. They do make inside the waistband holsters for this as well. Outside the waistband, that's something you choose to do. So you do have that option. The holster I choose to use for this one is my pocket holster when I do carry this one. So I put it in here and I'm able to put this in my pocket like so. Show you this, bam. And then I'm good to go, right? So the biggest thing with your pocket holsters is you don't want your whole holster to come out when you're drawing your firearm. So this allows me to still draw the firearm without the whole holster coming out. Something that you have to think about. Now, purpose of this gun, when I'm wearing shorts or depending on where I'm going, I want a little more, something a little smaller, easier to conceal. This is a really great tiny gun. It comes with a 10 round mag and a 12 round mag. And with the mag in there, as you can see, I don't really have a long grip. I can't get a full grip, but with the magazine in there, even with the 10 round, I'm able to get a little more grip on there with my pinky, and with the 12 round, I'm definitely able to get a full grip on here. great, reliable gun. I did a review on this one, so definitely check it out. But this is what I would consider subcompact. Now, if you're out there walking on trails, this might be a great choice for you. Really good choice, up close and personal. Do what you need to do, get it out, bang, bang, bang. Great option, but you definitely want to practice that draw wherever you have this firearm at, whether it's in your pocket, your purse, whatever you're gonna have this firearm at. You definitely want to practice that draw. And that's for any of these firearms. Even if it's your nightstand gun, you should be practicing and running through those drills as far as accessing that firearm, getting that firearm, and going through your home and making sure you're able to do what you need to do. So definitely think about that when picking out any of these firearms or any of these categories. But this is something that I would consider as subcompact. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. And I think they came out with a new one that has a red dot cut on here as well. So that's something what you want to do. But if you add that red dot, it wouldn't be good for pocket carry. I don't think I'd be able to get a good clean draw. So I'm definitely gonna keep it like this and just use the iron sights. And it's a great gun. Not a lot of recoil, not a lot of kick on this gun. Even though it is tiny, that 380 is not a lot of kick. Even with the hollow point ammunition, it's not a lot of kick. If you do what you're supposed to do as far as your proper grip and everything like that, you'll have no problem controlling this firearm. So definitely an option that you might want to think about. Now, those are your three main categories. You have your full size, your compact, subcompact, and then you have something in between that combines a little bit of both of them. Something that I like to use for my nightstand gun is my Shadow Systems XR920. Now, why is this one in the middle? That is because it has a compact slide in a full size frame. Again, that is a compact slide in a full size frame. So we're looking at about a 4 1/4 slide minus this daggone ramjet I put on here, and then you have a full size frame on here. So I can put the Glock 17 magazines in here and still run it just fine. But the Glock 15 round magazines would not fit in here. Glock 15 round magazines would not fit in here, only the 17 round magazines. People like this one because you get that full-size grip. Some people like having that full-size grip, but you have that shorter slide, so it's easier to conceal inside your pants, wherever you're putting it at, or anything like that. But I really like this one for home defense. This is one of my nightstand guns, and one of my guns I have staged in places. And I love having the ramjet. I have the old school ramjet. I know Shadow Systems came out with their own compensator. I'm not spending no more money on nothing else new. So, but I've been running this one. I haven't had any issues with it. So this is my setup for with my 507C on here. Love it. Takes this to a lot of my classes. Majority of my classes, I'm running this or my MR. But now I've been running my Glock Code. That's my go-to now, taking my classes with that. But if not, I'm running this or my MR or my 47. But those are my three main ones that I go to. But this would be right in between, because as you can see with that, so this is the Glock 19, and all this is a Glock 45. So Shadow Systems, they make clones of Glock, so this would be considered like a Glock 45. Again, full-size grip and compact slide, as you can see. But again, don't have to take into account the radium ramjet on there. So as you can see, got the full-size frame on there, so it's a little bit longer. But with the ramjet, it's the same length because I have the ramjet on there. If it didn't have the ramjet on there, it'll still be the same length because they're the same size slides. So that's the difference. So that's the same thing, same size slides, both compact, considered compact slides. So that's my quick overview of full size, compact, and subcompact. So real quick, one category I forgot to add was the slimline. So your slimline would be like your Glock 43s, your 43Xs, your SIG 365, your Hellcats, and things of that nature. So your slimline would be your slimmer subcompacts to compact slides, size firearm. So you're like right in the middle of there. So this is my Shadow Systems CR920P. Now, what makes this slimline is that, as you can see, it's a much slimmer frame than my Glock 19. That's because this is a 10-round magazine, so it's going to be much slimmer and easier to conceal on my person. Now, they did come out with the CR920PX. It's just a different type of compensator. So this is like their version of the ramjet. They have a better version out there now. Again, I'm not spending no more money, but this is another category that I forgot to mention. I wanted to make sure I put it in the video. But the slim lines, your 365, your Hellcats, those are nice, but they can be snappy. And I say snappy again, shorter the smaller the gun, the more recoil, the more kick, the more this thing is going to flip up. That's why they started putting these compensators on a lot of those smaller guns. But these are really good, fall into that category, good for your deep concealment, purse carry, summer carry, stuff like that. These are really good for that type of carry and the purpose for that, if that situation or anything like that. So that's something that I just wanted to make sure I mentioned in there, because I forgot about it and thought about it while I was watching the video back. I forgot the slim lines, your 365, your 43s, your 43Xs. I got a 43X build coming up. Slick. I might be replacing this. I like this a lot. Great gun, but it might get replaced with my 43X as soon as I take it to the range. Hopefully really soon you'll see your first shots coming out. But then I just want to make sure I mention that to you guys. Your slim line, again, see that slim frame? It could be a little snappy for some. If you don't have a compensator on there, just practice your fundamentals, you'll be good to go. But wanted to make sure I throw that in there. Continue with the video, let's go. All right, so the size matter, totally up to you. What are you gonna be using it for? It's totally up to you. Just the motion in the, oh, no, I'm just kidding. But it's totally up to you. Main thing is go out there and train. Regardless of what you decide to get, go out there and train. Doesn't matter if you get a freaking full size or a subcompact if you don't daggone train, if you don't put the time in there to go out there and train, take classes, drop fire, all that stuff, come up with a plan. That's what's gonna make the difference in whatever gun you choose. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You got any questions about anything you've seen up here, any of my setups, drop it in the comments. I'll be glad to share it with you. I just want to pass this knowledge on, do the best I can. Again, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Don't just own a firearm, become more proficient with your firearm. Keep training, stay safe.